Hello my little gods and goddesses, welcome back to my channel. I'm Alexxx and I'm wearing these glasses so I know it's a different video because I just recorded another one before this. So I really want to talk about this topic that's been very popular online, especially I watch a lot of short videos on Instagram and stuff like that. We have short videos here on YouTube as well, but I don't really watch the short videos on YouTube. Lately I've been watching a lot of astrology, psychology, like with Dr. Ramani and stuff like that. I find her very interesting, although I don't agree with all her viewpoints at all. Most of her knowledge on narcissism and antisocial personality is very interesting to me, but that's not the point of this video. That's just what I've been watching on YouTube. But the point is, do we give up too easily on relationships, on our partnerships? Now, even though I identify as non-binary, and I don't want to make this about gender, so please don't come for me about my gender. I'll quickly explain what I mean by non-binary because we're not all the same. So if you're non-binary, it's totally cool if you don't agree with my meaning of it. We're on different paths here. So to me, non-binary means that I am aware that I am more than this body. I am more than the flesh. I am masculine and feminine energy. I am yin and yang energy. I am light and dark, and I am whole. I am one with dark and light energy. It just signifies masculine and feminine energy. So for a long time in my early age, I didn't feel feminine or like a woman or like a girl should be. And I didn't know what non-binary was until my friend explained it to me after I told her what I was feeling. And so yeah, that's how I was able to come to the label of non-binary. But to me, it's energy. It's energetically what I mean, okay? I'm aware I was born with a vagina and all that. And I do not think that I'm as strong as a man, nor do I want to be a man or take his place in a relationship, okay? So let's not get my gender confused with relationship roles. Okay, so I date men. I date masculine men. I want masculine men. I date men, that's what I'm saying. So in a relationship, I feel like there has to be a feminine and masculine role, right? It is what it is. That's what nature entails. That's what it means when opposites attract. That's what works. The masculine and the feminine coming together in the relationship. It's not about, oh, he's a Republican and I'm a Democrat. No. Don't even get me started on politics because they're all in it together. But so do we give up too easily, or are we just dating the wrong people? Feel free to comment down below if you disagree with me here, but there has to be a role in the relationship. So we're either gonna be sorry, I don't want to annoy you guys with my glare. I just want to remember this is a different video. Okay. Even in same-sex relationships, I strongly believe that there has to be a feminine person and a masculine person. So I'm going to use the example of a 90 days couple, okay? I will put their pictures here. I forgot their names. One is a transgender female, okay? So she goes by she, her. She's transgender female. One is a straight male, okay? We'll put him here somewhere after her. So if you're not watching the show, this couple had a lot of issues because it started off with a lie that she was not honest about being transgender, which I support transgender. I support same-sex relationships. I think it's great. I love love. I remember when Brokeback Mountain came out and I was just so excited and I was so happy to see that movie. I just didn't have anyone to go with to the theater with, and I was in high school or middle school. But yeah, so I've always been for it, okay? But there's a difference between a born female who identifies as female feminine, like a strong feminine energy, and a transgendered person. There's a difference, okay? So she lied to him about being transgender. She was all done. She was changed down there. You know, again, that's why I mentioned that I'm non-binary, because I totally understand feeling like you're just not in the right body, or not loving how you sound, which is my case, or not loving how feminine and soft you are, again, my case. But yeah, so this couple does not have the masculine and feminine roles, because he complains a lot during the tell-all that she's acting like a man. But he is, I think he's either German, oh, where was he from? German, or was he German? He's from a different country, okay? He's European, from a country where they are very like still traditional, which is great. We're not gonna hate on anybody else who lives differently. That's fine. That's fine. But he agreed to be in this relationship with this transgender American woman, and there was still a disconnect, because there was no role in their relationship. She was very masculine, which is what I think he was trying to say by when he said you giving me man vibes. That's not his first language. English is not his first language, so he didn't know how to say it. You're being masculine. You're overpowering me by demanding sex, which is something she was doing on the show by giving him money as well. She was also providing a lot for him that I thought was not feminine. So she wasn't really playing the feminine role, even though she looked it on the outside. On the inside, she was not being that feminine role that he needed her to be, which is like soft, laid back, letting him lead, not asking or demanding sex, you know. I'm not gonna excuse any of his bad behavior, because he did cheat, and I really don't like cheaters. But all I'm saying is that this relationship didn't work for many reasons, but one of the main ones is there was no masculine and feminine roles that were being honored. And that's why I really believe it didn't work, because if she would have been in her feminine, she would not have been giving him money, and then there would be no doubt that he was with her for the money, because there was also that issue that she was not sure why he was like with her. She was also kind of insecure. Okay, she was very insecure, and he was just like having a very hard time communicating what he meant. And also he was also very influenced by the other people outside of him instead of what he wanted. He was very like, what are they gonna think of me? What do you think of my girlfriend? Like showing people pictures of her to see if she would pass as a female. So yeah, there's a lot of issues with this couple there. So yes, I do believe that we give up very easily in relationships sometimes. This would be a case of there was no gender roles first, and it started off with a lie as well, because she was dishonest about her gender, her true gender, which is trans female. It's not female, it's transgender female. So that would be the honest, common, logical way to look at that. But moving on from their example of not having gender roles, like I said, even in a same sex, if there's two women, one would be the more masculine and one would take the role of the more feminine. Meaning one is taking the lead, the other one is more laid back, more like soft, and she's usually the more like feminine, and this one's more like butch. You know, with men, one's the top, he's usually the leader, or one's a bottom or a power bottom, but he's still more feminine, and he lets the leader take the initiative more often, and he trusts him. The bottom should trust the top. If they switch, that could be just in the bedroom. There should still be a masculine and feminine role that they play in the relationship outside of the bedroom, which when I say masculine and feminine, it's more outside of the bedroom, but I just use the top and bottom because I know a lot of people understand that as like, oh, you're at bottom, so that means you're the feminine one. It might not be the case. So yeah, it might not be the case. Maybe the bottom is the masculine one. That's okay. That's none of my business. That was just an example. But yeah, so I think that's the reason why a lot of relationships don't last and we give up too easily. There's also a big trend with the feminine being mostly females that I've seen online every day, almost every day. We seem to be fed up with the masculine because there is zero accountability from the masculine. They don't want to play their role, which is why there's a lot of women who want to be single and celibate, which I support completely support being celibate. If you're gonna date, I still believe you should be celibate, which means keeping your legs closed, not having sex, because dating is getting to know people. It's not sex. It's not about how are you in the bedroom, okay, or in the back of the car. You know, so if you want to date multiple people as male or female or non-binary or whatever your gender, it's fine. I think it's healthy, but don't have sex with them, because we are more than this body and we transfer energies that way super easily, even with kissing and holding hands, but it's more long lasting when you have intercourse. And it also releases chemicals in the brain for the feminine that makes you feel more connected when you shouldn't. So it will like blurry your reality. That's when the rose colored glasses come on, you know, when there's sex involved. So it's safer for the feminine especially not to have sex. But there are exceptions to the rule of we should not give up too easily on the relationship. We should work on it. Like if one person is working on it and the other one is like, I'm gonna go over here and date other people. Okay, then you should go over there and date other people too. Or if one is working at it where there's the feminine or the masculine and the other one is avoiding, shutting down, not talking, giving silent treatment, which is abuse, which is mental abuse. Let's say I expect to hear from my partner tomorrow about something we talked about today, and he does not message me, and I'm the feminine, so I'm dating a man, okay? I'm dating a masculine, so I am expecting him to be a leader, okay? I'm expecting him to take initiative. That means he's gonna message me back about what we discussed today, and he doesn't, and this is not the first time he's shut down or ghosted me or gone silent. This is not the first time. So what am I gonna do now? What does this say? If you're masculine, the man who you're supposed to trust and respect, what does it say when he disappears or ghosts you? In the past, I have gotten very emotional about this, and I used to take it very personally, like a couple of years ago even, but I have grown a lot. Saturn has fucked my 7th house to the point where I finally understand my 7th house of relationships. If you don't know astrology, that's okay. But yeah, I have learned a lot of lessons through relationships. I think relationships help us grow as an individual, but a lot of people don't. They don't learn their lessons. I'm not one of those people. I know that I'm not the same because I don't react the same and I don't feel the same. Before, when my partner, he used to like shut down or disappear on me, I would get emotional. I would take it personal. What's wrong with me? You know, like very like sensitive and like feminine, which I am. But now I see that as his own issue that he's not working on. He's not growing. He's not changing, because we had many discussions about this, you know. So when this keeps happening over a year, 2 years, 3 years, it's time to let go. Okay, this is not like, am I giving up too easily? No. Because you've given multiple chances by this point. you've given multiple chances by this point. Now you might be a man who's having an issue with the feminine. The feminine might be fickle or like too wishy-washy. She doesn't know what she wants. Okay, let her go. Let her go. She's not ready. She's not ready. So it goes both ways. I think the feminine and the masculine, we have different issues to work on. But if we're not working on them, if we're not learning from those mistakes that are hurting our partners, then it's time to move on. It's time to move on. So yes, I believe in some cases we are giving up too easily, because a lot of people are like very picky online. There's like people who say, oh, if you make one mistake, I'm gone. I'm gone. There's a celebrity who was talking about how she's like, she doesn't cry and she's like super chill, but like if he makes one mistake, she's out of there. And that's her prerogative. Okay, that's her prerogative, but she's very young, she's beautiful, but like that's not the way to keep a relationship that's going to be long lasting, because people are not perfect. That's my point. People are not perfect. You will never find a relationship that's perfect. There's a difference between he respects me, he talks it out when we have issues, and he's not fucking putting in the work. You know, like there's a difference. But we're not just giving up at the first sign of a mistake, meaning he doesn't show up on a date, he cancels last minute. What else could be an issue? He looks at a girl while you're out on a date. That's an orange flag for me. That can be or he talks about himself a lot. He talks about himself and he doesn't really ask me that many questions. That could be a red flag for narcissism as well. So yeah, but you know, I don't believe in giving up right away, which is why I stayed in toxic relationships for so long. Not proud of it, but I've learned, I think I've learned. And like I said, yeah, I think it's great to date multiple people if you have the energy for it. I'm not an extrovert. I'm something in between extrovert and introvert, which I forgot what it's called, but I'm in between. So I could be this, I could be that, but I get drained pretty quickly. I get tired, like from too much interaction. So I personally could not date like every other day. Like there's some people who will date like it's a job, and I just don't have the energy for it. But I would just implore you not to get intimate with people if you are dating multiple people, and that's all. Anyways, I think I have made my point. I hope I've made my point about not giving why giving just one chance is probably not enough, because we all have our little issues here and there. Nobody's perfect. Even when you're self-aware like I am, even when you are forgiving like I am, you're still not gonna put up with something forever. You know, you still keep lowering your standards just to meet them on their level. Like I'm about evolving. I'm about growing from and changing and getting better. You know, like being self-aware is a good thing in my eyes. So yeah, I think until I find that man who's self-aware and who shows empathy, because I feel there's a lack of empathy with the masculine. You know, I see a lot of comments, I don't know if they're trolling, but they're like, you guys wanted equality, blah 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 blah, so now we can't open the door for you. And it's like, just because they wanted to vote, just because the feminine wanted to work outside the house and get paid, now you can't do your role as a man? Okay, well then just be single. Like, just be single. Because if you're going to be that angry at the feminine for wanting some sort of freedom, then there's an issue with you. Okay, there's an issue with you. Because you can't have somebody who's soft, trusting, and loving, and who's like looking for you, looking at you like you're the man of my dreams, if you can't even open the door. for like on a date. Like you're not even trying to impress her like at all, and she's like wearing a makeup and she's looking her best, and she's there giving you her time. Like I don't get it. Like to me it's giving lack of empathy. Yeah, there's a lack of empathy with the masculine, and I think the feminine is really fed up with that. There's a lack of masculinity in the men, you know? So there's an issue with that. I don't believe it's all men, just like the ones that are on social media too much, and the younger ones, the younger generations, they're just, maybe they didn't have that strong masculine role to show them like what a man is supposed to be like. But a lot of the feminine, like myself, we know the masculine is supposed to provide and protect, because that's what we saw growing up in our family. But anyways, I think I have rambled on for a long time now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you are doing really well. Remember that you are more than this body. Remember that what people do in their bedroom is none of your business, as long as it's two consensual adults with fully developed brains. Which is, I don't have the answers for everything. But anyways, love yourself, get to know yourself. Please work on yourself, work on your issues, stop hurting other people. If you're not dating to marry or to be in a serious committed relationship, look into poly relationships. Look into being honest with people about not being ready to be in a relationship. You know, stop being so selfish, because it's gonna come back to you. It's gonna come back to you. So yeah, that's something to think about. All right, I'll let you go.